All right, Pod Jack. This is episode 8, I believe. And I'm just putting these together randomly. I used to have ideas, I used to have topics ahead of time. By the way, I want to say a couple things before I forget. Number one, for those of you who have iTunes and listen to podcasts and stuff on iTunes, I have a podcast I haven't updated in a year. It's very controversial. It's called So Many Black Girls. SOOO. I might have plugged this before, but SOOO, four O's, So Many Black Girls. And the reason why I made that is because there was a podcast called So Many White Guys where the podcast is about a black girl. She's popular in the podcast community. She decided to start a podcast about how there's too many white guys in the entertainment industry and we need more people of color. So I decided, hey, and I didn't think iTunes would approve it, but they did. And then I put it on my... the reason why the channel is called Jak'd 2.0 is because I had a channel originally called Jak'd. And it was just called Jak'd, JKD. And I put that podcast on there, and I got a few strikes, and that was it. They reported it. Same thing. They do it to my main channel. They reported it for a hate speech, and that was it. The channel was done, so I created the new channel, and then I decided to call it Jak'd 2.0, and the rest was history. There it was, right there. So yeah, so that's one thing I want to say. Also, the second thing is I'm drinking this last 2 Saturdays. I've been drinking Tall Boys. 2 weeks ago, I had a Tall Boy of Yingling Lager. Last week, I had a Bud Light. And this week, tonight I'm drinking, I'm almost done. I had a giant slice of pizza because I'm a fat fuck. And I had, I wolfed that down. And then I got it's called Sapporo. It's a beer called Sapporo. It's a premium beer. It's $1 more. Only $4 something for a can. I don't know what the IPA is. But I gotta tell you, I am lit, folks. I'm not, super drunk, but I'm lit. You might be able to hear it in my voice. And tonight's topic, this week's topic is... Let me take a sip real quick. Cheers, everybody. Whether you're drinking this or not, cheers. This topic is going to be called Bad Nights. Now, this is going to be similar to the last episode with the awkward approaches, but I've had stuff where I can't tell you what the worst night I've ever had out. I've been lucky. I've been going out for a long time. I've been going out for 12 years. And I told you, I first started going out the nightclubs. I remember walking down to the train station at night thinking, I'm going to get jumped. Still to this day, if I walk down to the train station, I'm like, I'm going to get jumped. And I've been lucky. The worst thing that ever happened to me was I just lost my car 3 years ago. This is back in 2016. I got into it. I was driving after Uber. This had nothing to do with Uber. I was driving too fast in the rain. I think I talked about this before. I crashed my car. And then the Friday that week, I'm going out. I'm walking down to the train station for the first time in 2 years. Okay? Oh, great. There's a bus here. Awesome. That'll be great audio for the back. First time in 2 years, I'm walking down to the train station, and someone threw an egg at me. That's right, and it wasn't even what's it called, Mischief Night? Mischief Night is supposed to be the day before Halloween. This was like a month later. I'm like, it was like someone in a red van. I tried to get the license plate, but they drove fast, and I'm like, what the fuck's throwing eggs? Like, I felt something hit my hand in the side of my ass. It was a fucking egg. I was like, they must have saw my fucking stand-up act like 2 nights before. I was like, what the fuck happened? So that wasn't a bad night, but I was thinking, damn, I just lost my car and that already happened. That's great. So I've never been into a fight before, but I've been close. Okay, I've been close. I can think of at least 2 times where somebody got in my face. Probably more, but I can't think of it. First time I can think of it, I was at this douchebag bar called Ladder 15. Now, this is if you want to check out a douchebag spot in Philly, if you really want to see a douchebag spot, go to Ladder 15 in Center City. You got to be at least 23 to get in. It is so fucking cringe. It's like, frat house douchebags, mostly white people, the most stuck-up white cunts you can possibly see. Some of them are attractive and sexy. Some of them are just, what I would describe as flat butt, ugly white girls with no lips, no ass, they can't dance. And I was in there one night, and I was hanging out with these RSD guys, And this RSD guy, I saw this girl by herself. He said, go talk to her. Go ahead, she's by herself. Now, what I didn't know was this girl was with a guy already. She was with this white guy who had a black guy with him. So I go over, and I made a bold move. I put my arms around her. I said, you're really fucking sexy. You're really turning me on. And all of a sudden, these two guys run up on me. And I'm like, oh, is this your girl? And he goes, yeah. And the black guy was like, yo, why you run up on this girl like that? He just turned his back. I said, I didn't know. I was like, this guy just told me to talk to her. So I tried to shake the guy's hand. I said, well, look, I apologize. My name's Josh, right? I try to do the mature thing. I try to shake his hand. But the guy had his lips balled up at me. He had his lips balled up at me, like he was gonna do something. And then and the white guy was just sitting there. I'm thinking, this white guy's a pussy. He's got a friend with him, right? And his friend wants to fight for him. Like, why don't you do it? You know? So I sat there the whole time, and I put my hand away, and then the white guy was like, you know what? It's okay, man. You know what? She is gorgeous. I'm thinking, this guy's a pussy. He's got a guy fighting his battles for him. So that was the first time that I had not one of the first times somebody got in my face, like they wanted to fight me. And then I went back, and the pussy guy from RSD was like, wow, man, that was intense, and that was an approach. And I remember saying to him, like, why didn't you stick up for me? He didn't even stick up for me, that guy. He just left me there after he told me to do that approach. He didn't even do anything. So I was real fucking pissed off about that. That's one of the reasons why I don't hang out with RSD guys. They are the biggest fucking pussies in the world. They're biggest fucking pussies. They won't help you. They'll tell you to do something, and then they won't do a fucking thing. They're pussies. So that happened. And then one time I was in this outdoor bar, and I was really drunk. Now, this is back when I just moved back into my parents' basement, right? I was depressed. I told you, for like a month, I was like, this isn't bad. And then I was like, wait, this sucks. I got depressed. So I started making my concoctions. But the problem was I wasn't measuring them, right? I wasn't like measuring them. So I was first I started out with the top shelf stuff. I started getting Grey Goose and then Ciroc. I put it in this big 1-quart water bottle, and I didn't measure. I probably had like a lot in there. I was really fucking drunk at this outdoor bar, and I approached these like two white girls with this white guy, and I was like, yeah, I'm an underground pickup artist. I was fucking around. I'm an underground pickup artist. I get paid to teach guys. And this guy got so insecure. He was like, hey man, I'm an undercover cop. Get the fuck out of here. I said, what? He was like, I'm an undercover cop. Get the fuck out of here. I said, what crime did I commit? What did I do? He said, doesn't matter. You're bothering us. Get out of here. And I look at him. So once again, these aren't bad nights, by the way. I mean, it's called bad nights. But I've been lucky. I never been into like a fist fight. I never got my ass swept. I mean, listen, it's still time. I mean, it could still happen. Hold on. Let me take another swig of beer. Cheers. Like Sandman says. And cheers. So that happened. So I've never been into a fight. Another time this happened, I was hanging out on a Thursday night. Now, when I lost my job at the government place, the first government job I had, I started hanging out on Thursday nights because I was like, I never got to go out on Thursday nights. I used to just go to the gym. Yes, I used to go to the gym. That's why I was not so fat. I was like chubby, but not so fat as I was now. And I was out on a Thursday night, and I bumped into this white guy. He had a gym bag. It was a really crowded club. He had a gym bag on. So I pushed his bag to the side. And he was like, yo, man, what the fuck? And I stopped. And I should have just kept going. I said, what? And he was like, you just pushed my bag. I said, yeah, well, who? I was like, who brings a big bag like this to a club? So he grabbed it. He put his hand over, like, my head. He put it, like, in the back of my neck with stuff. I was like, yo, get the fuck off of me. He was like, oh, you going to push me and stuff? I said, yeah, because you had a fucking bag. I said, yo, dude, I'm about to headbutt you. Get the fuck off me. And then finally he let his hand off. But this guy, he had his fucking hand on the back of my neck. Like, he was trying to, like, rip my neck off. This fucking white guy. And I was like, I was like, I'm about to headbutt you, dude. I got a big head. I'm about to fucking headbutt your ass. So those are 3 times. I've never been into a fight. I've been lucky. I never got my ass kicked, as I said. I jinxed myself. It might happen. I fell once on the train. I was on the train once. This is back when I used to be friends with that black girl. I left her and her friend because she was being a cunt. She was like, yeah, she was like, my friends are going to get here for an hour. I said, I'm not going to wait here for an hour. So I left early. I said, look, this is a waste of time. I was like, she didn't want to dance with me. She didn't want to talk to me. I said, I'm not going to sit here all night for nothing. So I left her there. And when I was on the train, it was raining out that night. I tried to run away from these hoodlums, and I slipped. They didn't see it. And I fell directly on my ass. I don't know if you ever fall before where you slip and you go directly in the air and you fall directly on your ass. I fell directly on my fucking ass like a cartoon movie. I was like, slip, whoa, psst. And there was only one guy on the train. He was like, yo, bro, you all right? I was like, yeah. I was like, you can record that if you want. He said, no. So that sucked. That happened. Like I said, as far as bad nights, most of the bad nights I've had, as I said in the last episode, it's just been nights where I remember one night, there was 2 nights where I got a makeout. Here's the weird thing. So there's 2 makeouts I could tell you about where I had a bad night at first and I turned it around. I was wearing this fucking ugly-ass brown suit jacket that I bought from a thrift store. And this is before the song Macklemore, Thrift Shop, right? And I was looking at my mirror. I was looking at myself in the mirror before I left. I was like, why am I wearing this? I was like, I look fucking ridiculous. I was like, why am I wearing this? So I decided to, put it on. So I remember I was drunk that night too. I think this might have been around that time, maybe not. I took another shot. This fucking homeless guy staring at me. So I was pretty much like looking at myself in the mirror. So I left the house and it was this Asian girl. Actually, both of these stories involved me making out with an Asian girl. So this Asian girl was like by herself. Apparently she was with a group of people I didn't know. She was dancing by herself, so I started dancing with her. Next thing you know, and I will say, she was very drunk. This could have been a Me Too type of thing. Like when a girl said, hey, I was too drunk. And I just, went in for it. We start making out. Not like crazy, just smooching. And I got her phone number. And she said she lived close to New York. Like she lives in North Jersey. So I said, well, I might be visiting New York, And we never got to meet, but I was supposed to hang out with her. But you know what the ironic thing was? The day we were supposed to hang out when she came to Philly, I was moving back into my parents' house. I told my dad, hey, I need you to help me move the stuff back. So I had to ditch her, and she got mad. And then the other time, I was having a bad night, too. And then this Asian girl, I was dancing with her at this douchebag bar, and we started making out. She was like, go really hard, go really hard. So we started making out like crazy, like bumping into people, bumping into tables and stuff. And that happened a few times. So that was 2 times where I was having a bad night and I turned it around. Then, I remember just probably some of the worst nights I probably had was hanging out with other wingmen. There's nothing worse than when you hang out with other guys, other wingmen, and they don't want to do shit. They don't want to do anything. And they talk a big game, like you meet new guys or you meet guys that like, I remember, like I said, all the stories I tell you with cock blocks, the wingman episode, where all the guys cock block me. Those are some bad nights too, because I remember thinking, there's no loyalty in this shit. Oh fuck, they're turning the music up. I gotta move. I was sitting at the same spot for a while, so let me walk down the street. So, yeah, they blasted loud spicky music around 10 something right now. So, yeah. So that sucks. When you're hanging out with other guys, you think, man, this is going to be great. This is going to be easy. These guys are going to help me. We're going to talk to girls together, right? You look cool. And these guys are just fucking pussies. They don't want to work together. They don't want to do anything. And the bad nights, some of the worst nights I had was, like I said, the guy who put the 2 clothes on. The guy who said that he got the number himself. That really fucking pissed me off. When the guy was like, oh yeah, I got the number myself. I said, you never would approach her, wasn't for me. I approached those 2 girls twice. You never would. I warmed it up for you. You just came in. I was like, you never would even think to approach that girl. I was like, oh no, I got the number myself. That pissed me off. That was a bad night. Nights where I was arguing with guys. I'm trying to think. Like, there's nights where, I was arguing with dudes and shit and everything. I wound up walking away and leaving them. Just shit like that. But like I said, I've been lucky that I never... Like I said, I stay away from... The reason why is that even when I was doing the PUA thing, like I said, I always had a cool vibe, like, hey, I'm just a cool guy just trying to, I was like, I don't want to fight. I'm not scared to, but I'm mostly by myself. I was like, I don't want to fight, There's no point. But aside from fights and stuff, you're going to have a lot of bad nights when you do PUA, especially when you do night game. And... there's times where I got blown out real bad. I talked about blowouts in the last episode. Also, groups of people used to blow up. Like girls will give me smart answers. They would say, "Where do you live?" And I would say, "Oh, I live in the Northeast." And they would say, "Oh my God, I do too." But they were making fun of me. And they would start laughing. I didn't realize that they were laughing at me. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were making fun of me. They weren't like, "Oh yeah, we're trying to," like, they were just being dicks to me. Just fucking real fucking assholes, like, just like trolling me. Like I said, the good thing about this show is this is bringing back memories. Sometimes this show is actually bringing back bad memories. So the funny thing is, I moved from my spot, now these fucking thots are taking pictures. Good. Thank God I moved away, because you know why? They would ask me to take a picture of them and their friends, and then if I say no, they'll get mad. That's how girls are. It's amazing they get mad at me when I say no to them, but they've said no to me my whole life. Hilarious, right, guys? So yeah, I've had a lot of bad nights. I've I've had guys make fun of me for being fat. Even years ago when I was just getting chubby and stuff, I remember I was walking down the street and I was eating a slice of pizza, and this white guy was like, "This guy, he's shoving a pizza up his gut." And I wanted to throw the pizza at the back of his head, but I was like, what's the point? Then there was another time I think a white guy yelled something at me in a car, and I was drunk that night, and he actually ended up in the outdoor bar. I saw him like a minute later. I was literally going to walk up and slap him right across his fucking head. But once again, if I do that, now I'm in a fight. Most likely his friends will jump me. I'm not scared, but no point of that. Also, another people do make fun of me for being fat. I was walking out of this bar one night, and in Center City was real packed, and these guys were mad because they had to wait outside in the cold. And then I left, and one of them was like, "This guy right here, he's like the size of 3 people. They should let all of us in." He was like making fun of me. You know what I'm saying? And once again, same thing. I could have just, I could have easily just fucking spit in his face, but once again, same thing. Not worth it. It's not worth getting arrested or anything. If you're going to go out at night, a lot of people are going to test you. They want you to fight them because they're losers. They want you to throw your life away. It's not worth getting a criminal record. I already have a hard time enough getting a good job and stuff, even though I have kind of a decent one. I got a good job right now, not a great job. And once again, I never would have had it if I would have had a criminal record. So it's not worth letting people want you to throw your whole life away, just because they want to talk shit. Like I said, a lot of guys out here are just mad because they can't get laid. And I was the type of guy that I never took it out on anybody. You know what I'm saying? I never took it out on anybody. The fact that I wasn't having luck, I just pretty much fucking, just kept going. I was like, I believe in this stuff. It's going to work. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep approaching. I'm going to keep fucking working hard at this. And I thought it would work. And of course, it took me a long time to realize no matter how hard you work, we're talking about women here, the most manipulative, ignorant people in the world. If you want to call them people, I don't consider them people. And of course, it doesn't matter what you do. They're never going to accept you unless you have what they want. We all know that now. Fortunately, we all have to find that out the hard way. I'm almost done this drink. Some of the other bad nights. Like I said, I never had like a real bad time, a bad night before. Most of the nights I've had that have been bad have just been boring. You know, when you just go out, you're just like, this sucks. There's no chicks out. I've had nights where fucking, like, I used to go to clubs before bars. I used to go to clubs before bars. I didn't know you could go to bars. I knew that, but I didn't know where they were at. So I used to pay $15 to, like, go inside some stupid club. And I didn't even know how to dance with girls back then. I didn't even know how. I was like, I'm terrified to dance with girls. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know where to put my hands. I don't know how to move. The black girl I was friends with kind of taught me how to dance a little bit. She at least taught me about rhythm and, you know, where to put your hands and stuff. She taught me a little bit, even though she wasn't a good dancer herself. But she taught me the basics, I guess you could say. Even though now no one really dances. No one really moves to the beat. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people dance, but girls don't dance with guys anymore. And like I said it before, I'm glad because it's all just a tease. It's all just, once again, they want you to feel. As soon as they feel your dick get hard, they push you away and go, that's it. And you're like stuck there with this boner. You're like, hey, I got a boner here. What are you doing? I thought you girls were going out to get a boner. You realize they're lesbians. They don't want any dick. Why do you think they all dance with each other? And why do you think they all go home with each other? What do you think they're doing, guys? They're fucking each other. They're fucking each other. They're not fucking guys. They're fucking each other. They're dykes. They all got a dildo and a vibrator. They're doing a dildo show for their other roommates. They're not going to do you. Because think about it. They could easily just, go home with a guy. Why wouldn't they? If they really love sex as much as they say they do, right? Most of them don't. So they're fucking lesbians. They're fucking idiots. They're bimbos. They're dykes. That's why they all dance with each other. Eat each other's pussies. Go give each other a disease. Go accuse each other of sexual assault. Great. I'm trying to think of anything else I can add to this this episode. I'm sure. Hold on a sec. I got to take another swig of this. I'm almost done this can. This is a 24-ounce can, by the way. Yeah, there's a 24-ounce 24-ounce can I'm drinking right now. I guess I'll wrap this up. I'll wrap this up in a minute. If I can think of anything else. I'm kind of distracted because now people are starting to come out. And I'm just looking around. But I'm not doing this segment from other shows. Sober Commentary, Drunk People. This is Pod Jak'd. God damn it. But yeah, as far as, like I said, I've been lucky. All the nights I've gone out, I've never been into a fight or anything. I've been close, like 3 times. Might have been another time someone got in my face or something. It's mostly guys just getting in my face. I've had guys, push me and stuff. Oh, yeah, I remember something else. So I was at this douchebag place in Old City, and this guy, I was drunk. That's the back when I used to drink a lot. So this guy wanted to get by, and he put his fist, like, in my back. You know what I'm saying? He put his fist, like, in my back, and I called him out on it. I was like, what the fuck, man? You just put your fist in my back. So he came back and said, oh, you called me out. And he was like this skinny white dude in a sweater. And I was like, yeah, because you put your fist in my back. What's your problem? You know what I'm saying? And he got in my face and stuff, and then we talked, whatever, and then he went to the bathroom, and I went to the bathroom. So the bouncer that I knew followed us in there. He said, yo, you everything good in there? I said, yeah. And then on the way out, I accidentally bumped into him again, and he got pissed again. But he put his fist in my back. So that was nothing. I knew the guy wasn't going to do anything. He was just some fucking skinny faggot trying to look tough. But I'm going to wrap it here. I actually didn't think I was even going to make it 20 minutes. I thought this was going to be a short episode, but I at least did. Most of these episodes are going to be at least around 20 minutes. And once again, I might change the title because these weren't bad nights, but I'll call this Bad Moments at Night. We'll call it like that. Because it didn't equivalent to actually a bad night just because those things happen. So, once again, check out the So Many Black Girls podcast on iTunes. I haven't put an episode up in a year, but I'm going to try to start putting ones up once in a while. That's the only place you can hear it is on iTunes. You can't hear it on YouTube. Also, as far as the donation requests go, It's kind of weird how that just started happening. One guy just randomly sent one in, then he sent another one, then another guy. So that's pretty fucking cool, the fact that that started happening. But once again, that's not forced. Once again, some of the topics that, they suggest is not really what I want to talk about. That's why I make my own videos. But anyways, that's it, guys. That's the episode. Hope you enjoyed some of it. 25 minutes of me yapping. Yikes. And that's it. Hopefully an episode every week. I'm going to run out of stuff eventually, but as of right now, 8 episodes. We've done it. All right, see ya. All right, see ya. All right, see ya.